Paul, and if you want to say something, just give us a shout.
Can you make it bigger?
Yep. All right, we got Paul with us?
Is that for Paul?
Yeah, it is Paul. He's
Thank
there.
you.
He can, I think he can hear us okay.
I can't.
Perfect.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
Oh
I
my
don't know, we can give
God,
Cody
that's a
one more
lot.
minute.
How many is that?
We really think they're very informal.
It varies.
Oh, he's the actor of the Conservation Commission. That's about as formal as it gets.
Right up our alley. We could teach you a few things.
There he is.
There he
Hey,
is,
Cody.
1 minute, that was correct. Oh, grab her, comes at the other side.
If you want to be right in the camera's eye.
The only people missing the camera are these two over here. Well,
No
and
evidence.
you right against the wall. The camera gets everything from here over.
All right.
Perfect.
Whenever you're ready. Yeah, I'm not streaming
Okay,
it.
why don't we get going? Closing up to 6 o'clock. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And we'll just go ahead, call to order, roll call. For the record, I suppose we will say Frank Allen's here.
Richard Weinberg.
Ted Dober.
Glenn Archambault.
Cody Willett.
Jaylee Stokes.
And Paul Early is there, but he is on
On the phone.
on Zoom. Thank you all for coming. We have members from both commissions. I'm assuming there's no other citizens' statements. You're all going to make them as part of the two groups. No citizens. No one. Approval of the minutes. Public meeting October 22. That is the one that we held in the library. By the way, I was asked by the person, all of us, to speak up so that the microphone can record it. Same for everybody. I entertain a motion to accept the minutes. Jay Lee,
Second.
Fred,
Aye.
any comments, any questions? All approved?
Aye.
No dissent. Thank you. Regular meeting, the October 29, which is here too, as part of the documents. Again, I'll entertain a motion to accept. Thank you, Glenn. Jay Lee seconded. Comments, questions, anything? Everybody okay?
Yes.
All approved?
Aye.
Thank you. It says discussion updates none, but I just want to take a few minutes to tell you about a couple of things. I started thinking about how to get the schools and education input. So I've taken the liberty to talk to Quinnipiac Valley, Killingly School, the Intermediate College, St. James, and who have I left out? Oh, Ellis Tech. And suggested to them the possibility of meeting together, probably not in the council, in a more informal setting, where they could all come together. And they all seem to say, oh, that's fine. Tentatively February for that. Does that sound like something, instead of having them all come separately, have one big informal group of all the education time? And then we can get further input from them at that point, what else. I also said that we would like to then distribute some of the sheets to the students, have them do that, to get input from the various student levels. Tentatively, the timing for them, of course, as they work, maybe towards 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Which of you folks would be there would be nice. We can work that out in January, okay? Tentatively, I'm thinking in the library, more informal, we can sit in a circle and talk and get input instead of it's a little bit more intimidating upstairs, you know. Does that sound okay to move that forward?
Yes.
It does.
Okay. The one other thing is, I spoke to somebody from the Council of Churches, and I spoke actually to the president there, because I know that otherwise, and said would like input from obviously the religious grouping in town. And they are a group, as you know, that many of the churches belong to, and they meet together. And at first I said, we could do a January or February, just let us know. And she said, oh, we have a meeting coming up on the 16th of this month. Do you want to go? Wait a minute. Thought, I might as well take the bull by the horns. And I said I would go. It's at 1 o'clock at the Presbyterian Church, that's the one next to the bank, downtown on Main Street. If anybody else could
What day of the
go,
week is that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday the 16th,
I should be able to.
okay?
I could do this.
Whoever will be there, that will be very nice. And I think that if we feel a need to any further discussion with them, we can see. But I said, you know, do you have time on your agenda? And he said, oh, we give you 15 minutes at least. Okay, fine, I wasn't going to argue anymore. I just said, go for it.
You need to keep that under 5 people.
That is correct. That is-
Otherwise it
no, I'm
becomes
aware.
a
And I'm
formal-
aware that numbers of you, unlike me, have something called a job. So, I'm aware, but obviously the invitation is open. If it's more than 4, yes, you are correct. Thank you, Fred.
Can't do it.
Well-
What was that time again?
Question, will the school,
1 o'clock.
sorry, will the school meeting consider the special meeting, or that's also keep it under 4 people?
Oh, it's a data gathering meeting since it's 4 or less.
So it's,
Data,
yeah,
I checked that with the town manager. I said, if we have meetings with 4 people just to gather information,
Yeah.
and the same applies to the school when they get together, no, it's data gathering. He said that's not necessary.
okay. Max 4 at both events, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I checked, the first thing I checked with him, I said, does this
So,
work?
could we go over again who's going on the one with the churches?
Okay,
I'll do the church one.
thank
You
you.
said
I'll
you
go.
would, right?
2. We'll make you 4.
I can do it if you, that's the cutoff though, right
Okay,
there.
is that all
okay?
right?
And this is the Presbyterian Church?
Yeah.
Well,
Glenn?
yeah, and I can
You
be the
can do
4th,
it.
yeah.
Fred,
Okay.
you'll do it. Richard, you can do it, and I'll go.
All right.
Is that okay? We're not excluding you guys, we know that.
No,
Hey.
I mean, if anybody wants to fill my chair, they can go.
Well, feel free.
So that's the 16th, you said?
Right. Tuesday,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, we're starting to move forward to get all this information one step at a time. That's the only real thing that I wanted to just update you on. And later at the end, if we have discussion for other groups, I've made an initial contact with the Danielson Borough. They are a separate entity in town, and we need input from them too. What do they want? I mean, they are around here. I haven't got any further back from them, but that will be January, February, the earliest. I can see.
I'm on that council, so I can take.
Oh, you're
I
on
can-
that.
I can
Oh,
take the lead on that.
fantastic.
Coordinate.
Yeah, I spoke to, I was given the name of the president.
Hi, yeah.
Yes, Heidi. That's, would you like to pursue that?
Yeah, I'll follow,
perhaps,
I can follow up, and then they meet once a month, above the fire station.
Glenn? Either we meet them there, or
Yeah.
if they could come here,
Yeah.
or whatever. Thank you, Glenn. That'll, I'm gonna leave that with you, and I won't make another call. That's great. Any further comments before we move on to the 2 groups that are here tonight?
Are there any other borough associations or village associations?
So the question was, are there any other borough associations or building associations?
No.
I'm sorry, village association.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Help me out. Anybody?
I don't know off the top of my head, but for the borough, if we reached out to, trying to think, she's on the town council, she's from.
Tammy Wakefield, right?
Yeah,
Give me Tammy, yeah.
Wakefield, she represents the borough,
Yes.
so she would know if there's any other
Okay.
organizations.
So I'll take that as well. I'll follow up with
Why
Tammy.
don't you
Yeah.
ask about that, Glenn, and see if there's any others that I'm not aware of. I don't think Dave or the others have their own?
Well, every district or ward, or what you want to call it, has a fire district, so they're gonna have some kind of fire council. So I don't know if we wanted to bring all the fire councils in at one time.
Let's at another meeting discuss if we would like to do that too. I'll make a note here to add that.
Oh, Paul has a, go ahead, Paul.
No, I think, like I said, I think just want to further explore the ideas of getting into the villages. One way or another, to get the word out. I know they have fire districts, it's just trying to understand, where can we clear ourselves, insert ourselves into meetings for, 15 minutes or whatever. So, that's all.
That's all.
Appreciate you looking into that.
So you'll look into that, Glenn?
I will. I'll bring a list to the next meeting of anything they recommend.
If there's any. Thank you. And then we can.
Thank you.
Can I add something to your last statement? The meeting for KBIC is at the United Methodist Church behind the bank. It's not Presbyterian. It's the United Methodist Church.
Oh, sorry. Thank
That's
you.
okay. I'm like, I was messaging the pastor because I'm
Thank
like,
you, thank you.
I don't think that's a Presbyterian church, and the one by the bank is the church that I work
I got
at.
the address correct though, right?
9 Spring Street.
Yeah, but it's on just off Main Street.
Yeah, it's
next
right
to the
behind,
bank.
you park behind Key Bank.
Thank you.
Yep, and it's downstairs in the meeting room. And I will be there.
But what's the
9 Spring Street. It's right behind Key Bank right here on Main Street. You just pull into Key Bank and park right behind it.
I told you we were a very good
Awesome.
there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Anything else before we move on to the two groups? No? Okay. We have before us, as you can see on the list, two groups of persons. Conservation, and they have a group of 4 people. Thank you. And you are with,
I'm the staff liaison to conservation.
okay, you're there too. And we also have somebody from the Water Pollution Control Authority. That's an interesting one too. When
Pat
you come up-
McLaughlin, I'm the chairman.
Well, would you have more numbers of people to speak, so you might want to say a bit more. Would you be agreeable to just having
Can go
Water
first.
Pollution go first?
Yeah. Let him go first, then we can see what you're looking for, and then we'll know how to answer.
We're just looking
You
for-
really don't have a presentation.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
If you have to make stuff up, you can leave.
For the record, when you get up to speak for the mic, would you just identify yourself so that we know and the record knows? But thank you. Just a quick explanation. Both groups know that this committee is trying to create a vision or a strategic plan for the next 10, 15 years. And we're looking for input as to what people think they would like in the town, would like to change in the town, add to the town. Just make it one that is a great town that everybody wants to come to. That's the basic purpose of what we're trying to do. We're getting input, we're gathering data at this point. Sir, I welcome you.
Yeah, I don't have anything prepared. I didn't know if,
Please.
nobody really told me what the agenda was, but my name is Pat McLaughlin. I'm the chairman of the Water Pollution Control Authority. So as you probably all know, we've got some issues down there. We have a moratorium currently, which was put in place about 1.5 years ago. And we realize that that's not a good situation, and we need to do whatever we need to do to get that addressed. Basically, we have a nutrient loading problem. There's, although the plant was technically rated at 8 million gallons a day back when it was built in the 70s, state regulations have constantly changed and become more stringent. So there's no way that plant can really process 8 million gallons a day. But especially with heavy nutrient loading that we get from some of our industry. So we went out to it was back in the spring, last winter, we got proposals from firms to do a facility study for us. So we're still, the DEP, because we're trying to comply with all, with the DEP, in order to be eligible for funding, we have to go through their format and protocols, and it's taken much longer than what we would like. But, so therefore, we're still just starting, just got authorization to proceed really with the study that we had selected our consultant for back last winter. And that was finalizing the scope of work and everything like that. That's what took time, but dealing with the state takes time. So we're gonna have we're gonna also be gathering information of what the needs of the town, and also we have to consider Brooklyn too, because Brooklyn's tied into the plan. So we have to, the first step of the facilities plan is really to find out what the needs are, and so what we're going to be, what we need to design an upgrade for an expansion, most likely. Another option that we're also pursuing is reducing the nutrient loading with our, you probably all read about it in the paper, and Frito-Lay basically is our big client. Really, about half of the nutrient loading comes from Frito-Lay, and so there's some potential there that they may be able to do some additional pre-treatment to try to reduce their loads, and that's what we're looking at in the short term, especially, so that way we might be able to relax the moratorium a little bit. But in the long term, we're looking at, doing some expansion to the plant to provide more capacity.
I've heard that the conversations are going on with Frito-Lay as to what they could do to help you. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Do you see any thoughts of progress?
Oh yeah, there's been some definite progress in the last couple months.
Okay.
We've had some meetings with, mostly town staff and myself. Mostly the town staff is leading the negotiations and the discussions. But there's definitely been some progress in the last couple months.
For the expansion that you're planning, how do you estimate how big you need 10 years from now with these two towns?
Yeah, well so we have to look at the plan of conservation and development, what kind of expansion. It's kind of similar, it ties right in with what you're kind of doing too. Like what kind of growth does the town want to see, and how do we then accommodate that from a sewage standpoint? We don't want to sewer the whole town, It's like we already have a map of sewer avoidance areas. It shows where, and that's part of the plan of conservation and development. The goal is not to sewer the whole town, it's like very limited, in commercial areas mostly.
Yeah.
It's good for the tax base.
Yeah, right.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Hi, Pat. Best case scenario, most optimistic scenario, how far away are you from, lack of a better term, cutting a ribbon on any kind of expansion? Is this 3 to 4 years away?
Yes, it would probably be at least 3 years away from actually starting the construction process.
I was just going to say the design and
Yeah.
permitting.
Just
And you've got a couple of years of construction.
Correct.
Okay.
Could be 5 years before you're cutting a ribbon on a completed project.
Just wanted to get a point of reference.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Would that be at the facility? You're just expanding at your current facility?
Yeah.
It would be. And would it be a scalable expansion, like when he cuts the ribbon, is that cutting the ribbon, 25% additional capacity with the plan for another 3 to 5 years, getting it up to your ultimate goal, or is it like, it's all or nothing, it's a big bang, expansion?
Well, it's a big bang expansion, really, yeah.
Yeah.
you're looking at trying to develop the next 20 to 50 years, basically,
Right out of the gate.
for the capacity, yeah.
You know,
The only thing I'd say is this site takes a long time to build.
Sure. The mic can pick up.
It probably cannot. I'll repeat Paul's question.
Repeat it.
Yeah, I'll just. So Paul was just asking specifically what the timeline estimate would be for breaking ground on the project and completion too.
So it would be at least 3 years. I mean, first is a facility study, which is all the gathering information of what is it that you want to build, you know, what are we planning for? And then the design process would probably take, you know, probably be about, roughly in rough terms, a year for the study and 2 years of design, or a year and a half, because you have to get permitting done with the design. Everything has to be permitted by the DEP, all the improvements.
And then construction would be another
2 years.
2 years on top.
is there any way that they can overlap maybe certain components of the structure, what's defined? And I don't mean design build necessarily, because I know it's more complicated than a traditional design build project.
So that'll speak up.
Speak up, okay. I was just asking about a possibility for design build where certain parts of the construction, such as the foundation or other underground utilities, go in first, once they're known, and then the plant ties in once its processes are decided.
Well, I don't know about the design build. That might be tough with something like this. I mean, because we really, the operators really want to be involved integrally with the design. But as far as some early, it could be broken into different contracts where you have some earlier contracts for some of the, you know, foundational stuff, you know, like under, you know, utility type upgrades that might be necessary, things like that. I mean, it could be, so the construction could be broken up some, but I don't think we would.
Do you have a plan in mind as to how, your plan of what you think, how big this should be, or will that come after the study?
That'll come as part of the study, because also we gotta work with our industry too. You know, not just Frito-Lay too, but other potential industries.
Well, obviously, if you get this to a certain size, that opens up for more industry to move in to both Brooklyn and Connecticut.
Yeah, well, we have a separate agreement with Brooklyn, so that's a whole nother contractual issue. I mean, right now, they're only allotted, it's not an automatic percentage like goes to Brooklyn. They have to be willing to pay for that capacity, in essence, basically.
And you're looking, I know, into the possibility of funding federal, state, or otherwise.
Definitely, yeah, it's gonna require some federal and state funding probably. That's why we're trying, you know, working with the DEP and making sure we have their blessing as we go along to make sure we're eligible for their funding.
We have had, so far, comments from various sources, and this has always been a big one, the sewer.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
imagine.
big one. And people are more and more concerned, and we have to think from our point of view of the vision. What you're saying is that nothing's going to really happen until 3, maybe 5 years have gone by.
Well, I don't want to say nothing's going to happen. I mean, we could get some nutrient loading reductions
Okay.
from our existing customers in the meantime, which could open up some capacity to, to get rid of the moratorium, or at least allow some additional sewerage.
Because the feeling is that's being expressed, as you understand much better than I do, it's delaying any kind of development.
Yeah,
Either
economic
housing
development.
or industrial development, all of that is at a standstill, and the town is,
Well, from a residential, I mean, a lot of the town is not sewered anyway, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's
it's
true.
not really, I would say it's probably more impactful to economic development than anything else. Even existing, industries that might want to expand or something. I think that's probably
Well, you're never gonna probably increase the grand list if you don't start to let
Right.
more business in. That's why the sewer plant is so important.
right.
We've also heard comments that perhaps certain development, housing development, where they put in their own systems, particularly if it's a system for some multiple housing, that may or may not have to be included with the sewer afterwards or not. Do you know any more about that?
We haven't had a lot of discussions about that from developers, but I don't know, just from my development experience, I'm an engineer and I've worked like half of my career in private sector and half of it in the public sector. If you're gonna go to the expense and trouble of, building a system on site that's gonna accommodate your needs, you're probably not gonna wanna change, You're not gonna wanna then connect to the sewer and pay those fees.
Okay.
I wouldn't think. I mean, there could be a rare instance where they were right close to the existing sewer and they did something like that, but I don't
For
think.
multifamily housing, it's very difficult to have septic.
Well, for large, yeah, it is
Yeah,
difficult. but it
especially
is-
because the bedroom count can change, the bathroom count, and all that's going to impact the septic. I mean, I know a lot of rural installations have them, but they're huge, and, they're vented.
So, does the moratorium, maybe that's ununderstandable, does the moratorium apply to, existing structures, abandoned buildings that then get opened up again for use?
It's a tough question. Depending how long that building's been closed down for.
You've already
It could.
accounted for that
Well,
reduction.
yeah. If it's been vacant for 10 years, then those flows weren't really counted in the current, that's capacity that we're trying to make available once we do loosen the more, once we get some reductions in nutrient loading, say, we would try to hold space for those types of places. But right now, even those would be on a case-by-case kind of basis.
Is there, was there already a pre-approved list on like 7-Eleven? How
There
was that?
was.
So
I don't
7-Eleven
know,
was
there were
approved
like
for
some projects that had already been approved, like,
prior to the moratorium?
Yeah,
They get
yeah,
grandfathered in.
yeah. Like, say, for instance, the condos on Green Hollow Road, there's like only 4 or 5 of them got built, but there were, 15 of them or something originally.
So you already have that.
So those were approved like 15 years ago or something.
If a vacant space becomes vacant and the business type changes, does that also have to go for review?
It does go for review, but depending on if it's a similar type flows, like if there were, if it was, most of the buildings probably wouldn't be changing use drastically, like if it was a restaurant before, or is it gonna be a restaurant now? If it wasn't a restaurant before, it may not be set up for that anyway, so.
So,
If it's a consistent kind of usage in terms of sewage, then it would be, okay, it would be fine.
in effect, your vision, which you're working on, your vision is
Yeah, we're
to
working.
get something done in hopefully no longer than 3 years, but maybe 5. That's your
Well,
vision in a way.
3 would be for all the studies, the design and the permitting, and then it'll probably be 5 years, before it's open and operating.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's just, unfortunately, it's just, things take time,
because things are progressing,
especially when you're using federal and state funds too.
Yeah.
They have
Okay.
oversight.
things are progressing because, if I'm correct, this could have been started 3 years ago, but wasn't. And now it's finally at least moving ahead, which is not related to you. You're new to
Well,
the situation, I know.
Well, I've been around for a while, but it was a bad, it was, we had some really wet weather a couple of years ago that really put a, okay, you know, time out, you know, this is like, you can't handle this, you know. It's like, you know, in the dry weather like we've been having, there's not a lot of problems, but when we get an extended wet weather, it just, there's too much, you know, we get some infiltration from, all sewer, you know, lines get some infiltration from stormwater, you know, and stuff, and it just, it was a big problem, you know, 2 years ago, basically.
Yeah, and they were pumping.
And now we have town operators, you know, maybe they're a little more, responsive, or they want, you know, not, forthright with the needs, you know, whereas when we had contract operators, maybe they didn't want to rock the boat quite as much, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say, but it was kind of somewhat weather driven.
So, one last question, at least from me. Is there any planned expansion with respect to where the sewer goes, which might open up additional industrial area? I mean, I haven't seen the sewer map, so I don't know the
Yeah.
coverage yet.
There's not a lot, I mean, so, yeah, I haven't really looked at it recently, but I know we ran the sewers up to, we did some sewer work, I don't know, geez, I was still working for the town, that was about 20 years ago, but we ran the sewer up Westcott Road, you know, so that we could sewer that area that was potential business park up there. You know, just on the east side of 395. That was, you know, we ran sewers up North Main Street back then in that time frame. But there's not really. Now we're more concerned with just trying to reline and, you know, re-fortify our existing lines that are 50 years old.
So that would be another thing, another plan for the future for you here.
Yeah.
Something that you would like
To
to
work
see
on,
happen.
to work it on, yeah,
Okay. All right.
sealing up some of these old, you know, making sure we're getting less infiltration into the system. That's something else we're working on kind of currently.
Okay, it's, as we all know, as part of achieving the vision, that's a biggie.
Yeah.
As is, in a way, I hope it's only I'm going to call it a temporary deterrent.
Yeah,
And that's
it
the
should,
biggie.
yeah, that's our
So,
goal,
yeah.
temporary.
Okay.
I mean,
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your coming. Thank you very much indeed.
thank you for allowing me to go.
You're out of here.
Thank you so much.
Take it back. Good input.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening. Donna. Whoever it
I'm not the
is.
chair anymore. I don't have to go up there though. My voice can carry, don't worry.
All right.
I've never had a problem with anyone not being able to hear me.
Whoever, just identify yourself.
So I'm Jean Mountford, I am the chair of the Cleveland Conservation Commission at this time, so. You guys introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Bob Lofquist, I'm a member of the Conservation Commission.
Donna Brownell, I've been on it for 25 years.
Okay.
Bob Nolan, about 2 or 3 years.
You have a big group, that's wonderful.
Well, actually Claudette is also with us, but she's a bus driver, so she's got, you know, sleep at night, so.
All right. You know what we're after, what we're trying to find out here. Data from you, what you think the vision should include from your perspective.
Well, as me personally, I know we always talk about, for us as Kinley Conservation Commission, it's open space, but also like a lot of us work with trails. For me, I look at it as I would like people to come here during the day, go on a trail, go paddling, you know, and then when they're done, go get gas somewhere, local gas station, go to eat somewhere, go even just get a coffee. It's like really stimulate our economy. But I also just want people from different states and whatever to know where Killingly is. you know, from different things. We have recreation, we've got great restaurants, you know, all the different kind of things. We've got the horse farms, people want to come here and just spend time. You know, that's what I look at.
More specifically, give us some ideas. What do you think to achieve what you just said?
Well, like we have like the gas stations, the restaurants, like downtown, you know, like have different, like, it's nice to see that so many shops are in there right now, but me coming like this morning when I was driving home, because I work third shift, coming home, I went down Main Street. I would love it if Main Street, even though it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, to pop. To drive down there like at Christmas time with all the lights on and people got trees in the window and all the windows are decorated. It's just to drive by there and be like, wow, this is really nice, you know? Some looked really great and some of them was like, can you put up a tree, you know?
What would you want to make the Conservation Commission? If you talk about trails, are there areas that you want to open up or would like to see opened up for trails?
Yeah.
We talked with one individual at one of our other meetings, would like to get a boat launch, at least a kayak or canoe launch on the Quinnebog, you know? Those are the kind of things we're looking for from you.
Yeah.
I understand that everybody, I think, that lives here would like to see the downtown more open to the public.
Yeah. Well, there are some places that do have kayaking, but it would be nice if maybe we had like one website for the town that people could go to find these things out, because right now you gotta look here, you gotta look there, you gotta look you don't even know where to look. You know, there's too many things going on and nothing's centralized, nothing's brought together as one. So if people wanna do something here, you have to look it up. You gotta try to like do some digging, you know?
So big happenings, something to that effect.
Yeah, like the Broad Street, like things like community centers, like, does anybody know about the Breakfast with Santa? I mean, it's like, you have to like, if you see it, you see it, but if you don't, you miss out on it. So it's like, if we had some way of centralizing everything that's going on in Killingly, it'd be a lot easier to find out and be able to participate in things, you know?
Technically, that can easily be done.
Yeah,
What, the only limitation would be who gets together to do it and make sure that everybody has access to send in updates
right,
on the calendar and then let it be broken down by category. But it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of that.
yeah.
You said technically it can be done, does that mean there's infrastructure in the new town website
Well, I'm not
to
talking
incorporate
about
that
this.
kind of stuff,
I'm
or?
thinking that it should not, from my personal standpoint, I think it should be more closely associated with the business, Killingly Business Association than with the town. The town can mirror and grab what we need in terms of events.
Yeah.
But I think people will feel more comfortable having it not be government sponsored.
But if you're coming to the town of Killingly and you don't really think about the Killingly Business Bureau having one, you're gonna look up something with town of Killingly, because that's where you went. I wanna go to town of Killingly, so you're gonna go to town of Killingly website and see if you can find things that you're looking
That's
for.
where they
Yes,
would
there- what's
there to do?
directly to.
And
Right, then link it on something else, but yeah.
if you look north of us, which no one likes to do it,
Yep,
but Putnam, it is the Putnam Business
Yes,
Association
very
that
active.
runs
yes,
the website that you go to look for
Right.
what's happening
Yeah.
in Putnam.
there you
It's
go.
not the town.
Right, yep,
And the town of Putnam, Recreation Department, all the other departments work very well
Yeah.
with the Putnam Business Association.
yep,
And I think that Richard is right. I'm trying to get, we've been waiting since we opened this commission for the new website, for the town website.
yep,
I think it would be faster run and better run if it was private, if it was
good,
Killingly Business Association or something along that line.
Should there be a group in town? I know that there is the recreation department with Bucky and he does things, but should there be a group in town that brings together the different people like you're talking
Right.
about, the business association,
Yeah.
that come together
yeah.
to
Everything
start
that's going
planning
on.
things for the town
Or, yeah,
together?
if the Parks and Recreation's gonna have something coming up, bring it to the Killingly Business Association, say, hey, can you put this on the website? Let them scan it, put it on the website, you know, months in advance, so people have time to, you know, make plans.
And
Yeah,
having-
But it's
yeah.
not only the business association, I mean, like, what's happening in Killingly would be a nice headline. And then it could be business association, it could be conservation, it could be,
yeah,
you know, all
Yeah.
the other, issues in town.
Yeah, because you can have like a down thing, and you could have like trails, conservation, activities, whatever, and you can click on that, and it'll pop up, you know,
Right.
breakfast with Santa, or this and that, and, you know, Frosty's night out, or, you know, all these things, like, oh, that sounds great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening? What's happening?
It's available. Billing only happens for, I mean,
What?
What's that?
You already put it up there?
no, I haven't taken it.
Oh, I mean, I
You already
I
did.
admitted that, I
I
didn't.
was curious.
Killingly happening stuff.
Well, I was, that's because of what I just said, that's why I did that. So,
Yeah, probably should start with killing me, because that's what people would look under the K.
Yep.
And you know, somebody's gotta finance it. And that's where you need the Killing Lake Business
Right,
Association.
right.
They have to have stuff on it.
Right.
Other people could put stuff on it, but somebody's gotta pay for it.
Right.
And somebody's gotta maintain it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The
there have to be
maintenance
parameters that.
is the
Yeah.
larger component than the cost.
Right.
And it's a human cost for people working on it. But for example, a hosting plan that could easily accommodate everyone would be $300 a month.
Yes. For the website?
We've had that comment often expressed, the lack of information about the town. This is, we've heard it from so many people,
Yeah.
not sure what the answers are just yet.
Yeah, this group's doing this, but nobody's coming together, so.
Nobody's talking
We
to each
we as
other.
residents, we don't always know what each of those groups are doing, you know, it's
Right,
like,
yeah, and it's,
Killingly
it will be
happening.
part of our comments undoubtedly, not sure what they are.
yeah,
But from a, sorry, from a specific conservation point of view now, this is general the talking, anything else that you already, what you're doing, what else you would like to do in the next 10 years, what you really think we should be doing to make this a town that people want to come here?
right, right.
I think from my personal perspective, it's keeping a balance, okay? We need, for the tax base, for a variety of reasons, we need development, all kinds of development, whether it's
Yes.
housing or industry or businesses. But there's also, I think, there's a reason why a lot of people move to Killingly, and a lot of that is the trees, the woods, the open spaces that we have. You know, I'm learning, I've only been on the commission for a little over a year, but I've just from talking to people and being out at our properties and hiking with people, learning that people come from surrounding towns to our town to go walking and hiking, to visit our properties and stuff. And I think that's an important part of who Killingly is, and I think it's important to maintain it. So when I say balance, I mean, yes, we have to develop, we have to move forward, but also not lose what we are now that's attractive to the people that live here and the people that come here to spend money in businesses and stuff. So I think moving forward, yeah.
Your booklet is very good.
Yeah, but back to
I saw that. She did it, it's really good.
Yeah.
Other spaces that you had
I
in
met a
mind that you
person
would
from-
love to say we need to include into what
I
we
met
are
a
doing?
person from
I don't know.
Israel. I was down at Cat Hollow, and I met a person from Israel. I go like, what? How cool is that, right? I don't know how they all found out
Yeah.
about it some way, but he's from Israel.
They were floored with our property. Cat Hollow, they were just like, this is amazing, we have nothing like this.
This new property that the state has taken over, 600 acres or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Do you have any thoughts of working with them maybe? to-
We actually did propose that at our last meeting, we had proposed for Allison to maybe send them through their email an invitation to come to a meeting, because we wanna know what's gonna happen, what's their plans for that land,
Yeah.
that's over
Because
six
it has
hundred
some
acres,
nice
so.
water
yeah.
areas too, doesn't
That's
it?
another reason, you know, once that's booming, you know, what are they offering? Are they offering camping, fires, trails, kayaking? What's the opportunities there? And that's like another opportunity that people can look up and go, oh wow, I can go there for the day with my family, and like Alexander's Lakes, you know, you used to be able to go there, you used to have the fire, you could be swimming in the water, you know, you'd be go cooking in the other area, you had the swing sets, you know, you had a whole day there, your whole family could spend the entire day. You know, just
So
opportunities like that.
Something you're looking into with them, finding out, you're talking with them, that's very good.
Well, Allison's good at send them an invitation.
We're trying, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to get
It's-
information from them.
They move at their own pace.
Yeah. It was supposed to be open in October, but that obviously hasn't happened, so.
So we're trying to maintain contact with them as much as we can. hope to be working with them to incorporate whatever their plans are into the whole of what we do.
Wyndham Land Trust, I think it was, just got a small piece of property on the corner of Nashington Road. Are they getting any more here in town, or do you work with them? Or?
Wyndham Land Trust, we do coordinate with them. They're currently, and I don't think it's public information that I can speak on, but we wrote a letter of support for them for a grant they're going for a bigger acquisition in Killingley. So we do coordinate with them, and we are in contact with them, so.
Because that, again, that, you know, they have some restrictions on their land use, but it is generally open to hiking and stuff like that.
Right,
They do
right.
put trails
Right.
in and things.
Even though, we even have Last Green Valley, I mean, the Last Green Valley, you know, it's a large area, and, you know, even have them pulled in more, and have them more of what's going on. It would just be a better, more opportunities for us to get people to come here and spend the day and just spend their money,
So,
let their money out of their pockets.
one of your big things of the vision for the next 10 years would be to coordinate that information so
Yeah.
that people could find out more about the conservation, the land, and
Yep.
access here
Right,
in Killingley.
You're right.
Okay, all
Yep.
right,
yeah,
okay.
And activities, we sponsor activities throughout the year as well. We sponsor hikes and bus tours.
During
yeah.
the Oktoberfest, Walktober.
October,
whatever
right,
that is.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
They,
Yep.
they usually publicize that pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But even then, it's hard to find them sometimes, and it's like, well, it's even, it's online, you can go there online, but sometimes finding the actual calendar, it's difficult, you know? And they have the Explorer Guide that has all the 35 towns in that, and it has all the things that you can do in that too, but sometimes it's hard to find them, so it'd just be nice if we all had like a group that we could all go to one place and try to find information, so.
Yeah. All right.
Can I ask about the Lake Alexandria? You know, we've only been there about 12, 13 years. Why is that no longer available as a public space?
It was private land always.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and somebody
Yes,
allowed, you know?
there used to be, there was a restaurant, like
Yep.
she said, there was a play area, beaches and everything.
Roller rink too.
Yep, roller rink, yep,
And then, when it was a husband and wife that owned that, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't remember that much about
He
it.
died,
Yeah,
and she shut everything down.
I heard the insurance just was
Right,
astronomical.
right.
and
The
it wasn't worth it.
restaurant was open for a few years
Yeah.
after everything else was
Yeah.
shut down.
Right,
But then even that closed. There used to be a small, when you turned the first road, there was a small dirt boat launch that the state used to stock trout in that lake. But they got in some disagreement, I guess, with the actual landowner.
yeah,
And even that went away. Because the people who live around there, as you know, they rent the land the houses are on. They don't own the land. The original family that had that has never let go of any of that.
Because the Alexandria is a jewel, right? Has the town ever considered trying to buy a piece of that?
you wonder now with that building being as empty as it is now, it's like, you know, because
Yeah.
you could go there the whole day, because they had miniature golf across the street.
Yeah.
You could go swimming, they had docks in the water, they had the water wheel of death. They had,
That might be
they
the
had,
insurance
they
company.
had 2 high dives, and they had this massive metal slide that you would go flying down. It was just a great day. I mean, and again, like I said, you could have the fire out in the wooded area, but they had a huge area for like swings and a slide, and it was just a really great place to go.
That is the best vision definition we've heard.
Oh, you had the
I mean,
arcades.
you're nailing it on the head of what, right, the vision for the town should be. And
Yeah.
in terms of, we need that. I think it was, you said in the comment, is that we need to become an outdoor destination. Because I don't think we're gonna compete with Putnam for restaurants and bars. I don't think we're gonna be the next Putnam.
Do we want to?
But we can certainly compete
Yeah.
with our outdoor space.
We have things to offer.
And then following up on that, because you said outdoor destination, you said then go out into the businesses. Is there any connection to the outdoor spaces back to the businesses in terms of promoting the businesses within the spaces? So that they, you know, while in the parking lot, they understand that Chubby Dogs around the street or Two Dogs Coffee, I mean,
Yeah.
should we be trying to connect and maybe having the businesses do some sponsoring?
What are we having to do?
We've done it in the other direction. We've had Chubby Dog take open space booklets that we've created. So we're promoting open spaces at businesses, but we haven't
Yeah, like a nice
promoting
partnership there.
businesses at
Yeah.
open spaces. We could add those two.
Where,
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
where do you do your kayaking and stuff?
Well, I go down 12 off the Quinnebog.
Yeah.
I go down that area, the pond. I go to that. That's where I've been. So, but I'd like to go more. I was hoping that I live on Bailey Hill.
Yeah.
So if that place on Bailey Hill opens up,
Well,
I'm going.
what I'm thinking, if you're giving those booklets to Chubby Dog, what if you had a place where you could do a couple of kayak races? That you could have Chubby Dog sponsor
Oh, yeah.
the races.
yeah, right, yeah,
Something like that,
Yeah.
you know?
right.
Um,
But the only way that they're gonna survive and be able to sponsor people is if people go there and,
Well, that's.
because I
one
won't
hand-
look at the cup
one
that I've got
hand
under my
washes
thing
the
here.
other, you
Look
know?
at that, we'll just look at, see
where I went to get coffee. But, you know, I mean, people have to go to Chubby Dog, you know, they can't survive if they don't get any customers, you know?
I understand,
It's hard.
because he's doing better here than he is.
Yeah. And the parking, it's like, you know, you come down Main Street, it's, you know, you gotta park over here and walk, and it's difficult. I mean, I'd love to be able to sit, like in Putnam, they have all that outdoor area to sit down and just enjoy yourself, and that'd be nice. Just opportunities like that would be, I think, nice to see down the road, you know?
What are your thoughts on Owen Bill? Sort of realizing that
The
much
Jewel
more
of Killenly.
for different things.
Yeah,
Years ago, I suggested they should put a little restaurant as you come in on the left-hand side where the parking is, away
Yeah.
from it. Where people could have a cup of coffee, sit there and have some music.
yeah,
In terms of recreation, what are your thoughts? I think Owen Bell could be used much more. They have that pond.
yeah,
People could sit, they're redoing the pond at the moment.
yeah.
But there used to be a place there, there's a bandstand, but the back of the bandstand is sort of to the pond and the open is towards the sports area.
Yep.
If they opened the back, they could put music. I could see people. Do you have any thoughts on greater usage of Owen Bell to attract people to?
That would be nice.
Probably a little bit more the purview of Parks and Rec. We were sort of indirectly involved in sort of the trails at Owen Bell, but that's more Bucky Lobush would probably be the person to talk about that.
No,
A
we
little
would
bit more
talk to
than
him,
we were,
but
yeah.
that doesn't mean we can't get
Sure,
ideas
oh yeah.
from
Yeah.
everyone else.
I mean, yeah, because you've got, you like, at Owen Bell, you've got, well, everybody has an interest there. Basketball, bikes, you know, walking. I mean, if you have an interest, Owen Bell probably pleases you because you can go sit there and watch your kids play safely.
Yes.
You know, you could walk with them. You got ice cream in the back.
There are
You know,
trails.
yeah. I mean, it really is a jewel. It really is. Yeah, we got the water splash park for kids for free to be able to get wet. You know, those kids that can't probably afford to go someplace and pay can have fun and have a good time. You know.
In my opinion, it's a little underutilized, I think. I might be wrong. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with tennis courts and all the basketball. It's there, not basketball, the others. I know with my kids have been there. It just seems to me that's such a good open space that we do more with for the public,
Yeah.
not just for sports and
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
So if they, well, that's something you talk to the king about.
Yeah, we have. It's something.
Well, yeah. Even like you have more music. You know, have nights we have
Yes.
more music, and you know.
Yeah.
You could have the Lions clubs have food come bring in their truck and they, you know, just a way to, again, help out local community, you know, organizations, you know.
Yeah, it's, there is some feeling that I think you expressed too. There's nobody in town that really pushes this town and markets it, is it?
the tourism, how's it Patty has?
Who?
Patty St. George. She came to one of our, the executive KBA meetings. She
Okay.
did like a whole presentation, and she like a really thick book of everything.
Oh, okay. And that just slipped my mind. But is that something like other towns seem to be, Putnam seems to be making it known, they work together, that this is all the things that are happening. And
We're not really
if it was business, we'd have what's
centralized,
called a
right?
marketing
There's no one
department.
place to find out.
We don't have a marketing department for the town, do we? That,
Yeah.
here are all the good things,
Yeah.
come over
Well, there
here.
isn't.
Tourism.
Now, is that
Oh,
something
okay.
new, or the tourism, is that something new, or has that always been around?
I just found out about it this year, so
Right.
I can't answer that, I'm not
Right.
really sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 50 years, and that's the first time, I know she mentioned it about our booklets, like the one meeting, but I really don't know anything about if we have a tourism group. I don't know anything about it.
I know the lady that does it, I can give you her information.
Can you give us information?
Can't.
Bob, you have any ideas?
Well, you guys pretty much covered it all, but, as far as, Owen Bell, I think it's pretty well utilized. It's too sports oriented, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you could probably open that up more like you were saying, to music or concerts or stuff like they do in Putnam or the Rotary out
Right.
there, you know. Unfortunately, we don't have a group down by there, but.
Yeah, we could still do like, if they could do fire on the water, the pond, they could do, you know, and then have like sitting area, and, you
There you
know,
go, fire on the water.
have the water in the, we can have music in the background, and we
You
go,
don't,
you
you
could
don't need
try
to
to do it.
exactly copy everything they do.
Right.
But if you, I live in Killingly, but I spend a lot of time. And every event they have is family oriented. And it's free. That's a big plus. You know, it gets the restaurants because the people bring their kids. How many, if you're somewhere with your kids 5 years, all of a sudden you're gonna have one of them at least going on starving to death.
Yeah.
You know, so you either take them to a restaurant or somewhere where you get them something to eat.
Yeah.
You know, but we could certainly do concerts at Owen Bell if maybe what you were talking about, open the back of the bandstand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of event would draw people,
Right,
Owen
you know.
Bell is also the only park that I'm aware of for outdoor space that has restrooms, which is a big thing up in Putnam.
right.
We have several parks that have outhouses, not outhouses. Just saying, too much history. And it's, so that, based on how an area is developed, Owen Bell, it's great for the kids, the parks, the play equipment. You can walk around with your dogs completely, you know, restaurant or snack area.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be great. That bank, I believe, the other one on the corner is either going to be rebranded or up for sale.
West Berkshire?
Yeah.
The West Berkshire, it still technically is. Here it's going to become, it's merging with or acquired by, a bank in Rhode Island. And it won't be long before it has a new name. They're not giving it up for that.
Well, I think, I like what you said, you know, we don't have to copy Putnam, we're not trying to be Putnam 2.0, but I think that's what I'm hoping you guys are doing, is figuring out what Killingly's identity is and moving forward is,
Yeah.
and capitalizing on that, and bringing people in to offer them the things that we have uniquely.
Yeah, very important to us is, we've heard from so many people saying that the reason they moved here is because there's so much land, so much open space. You know, I've been here 36 years. I live on Mashantuck Road. I can walk from my backyard down to the park down Cat Hollow, you know, I mean, it's just woods. Yes, there's the senior housing thing comes in, but you can get around that. There's acres and acres of woods there.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to live anywhere else, you
That's a
know?
good point. Well, I had filled out your survey. You had done a survey online. I had filled it out, and it was like, "What do you like about Killingly?" And I said, "I like it because I live on Bailey Hill.
Yeah.
I can drive 10 minutes down the road and I can go to a lot, I can go shopping at a major store, I can go to a Lowe's, I can go to restaurants, but then I can go back down 101, go by the most beautiful horse farm, just be at peace, you know, and I can go on trails, I can go kayaking, there's so many things the town of Kinley offers, but because I live here, I know about them. And probably don't even know even half of what's actually out there. I only know what I know, and even being on this committee and others, I learn more and more every day. Like, I never knew about that. I mean, you know,
So then again, a big thing for you, your commission would be some kind of centralized
yeah.
entity, if you want to call it, that gave everybody that
Right.
information.
Have all the groups come together, give all the information. That's where all the information can come out of, and just to see if it works. You never know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we want to try. You know.
What we've
The
got.
arts can be also very vibrant, you know,
What?
the arts.
Arts.
I mean, whether it's open studios is what Rhode Island has, Connecticut has it as well in different towns.
Right.
I think we have one coming up in December. But having it, or maybe like an open gallery.
And I believe Quinnebog Valley, I think, has an art gallery in there. Or they do, like when I did a ceramics class there, they did like your ceramics. You could go in there and they do art sometimes. And I think it's a Lewis and Company or somebody sponsors it. But it's a space that you can go and you can see what's being expressed at that time.
Next, even one of the buildings to draw people in, for example, where there's a physical therapy place and a pizza store. So just an empty hallway, the National Guard upstairs, well protected, but something like that where people go, that maybe public art can be displayed.
There is something like that in the works right now, the Brickyard Project downtown.
Tell us about that.
I don't have the book, Jill, you know, just
Yeah,
a
short.
she
Well,
has-
I know, Jill, yeah, but
well,
give
from
us
what
a short
I've
story.
seen, it's gonna utilize the parking that's in the back of like where the Elks is. And then there's gonna be like a spot for, like an indoor spot for like local art gallery. A bunch of like art displayed and like signage to like direct you, like this is where you can go. So people know like where things are. And the whole point of like, I guess like the entrance of the Brickyard, it's gonna be like, do you know where like there's a Pizza Pizzazz, I think is there?
It is.
It's like that area. Yeah. I'm seeing it, but I'm not gonna describe it. But she has a whole book and there are pictures and.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's the building I was mentioning.
Was it? So you already knew.
But I didn't know about the event.
Oh, it's not just an
Starting on the
event,
next
it's
one,
actually like construction, they're gonna like redo the whole.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about like if they brought back the Springtime Festival Parade. I mean, that was just huge. Everybody just loved it. And, I mean, it's a lot of work, so I don't know who would put that on, but I think Springtime Festival Parade was awesome. You have your Kinley High School band. I mean, I haven't heard them in the longest time. I would like to see my local school band out there. Frosty's Big Night used to be huge.
Oh, it is.
You had KMS that had jumping things. You had all the local businesses that did different things, like passed out hot chocolate, lots of kids, and you had choir coming out, and you had the band, and it was a lot, really great community effort. I know it was a lot of work for Parks and Recreation, but I think it was a really fun night. And then at the end of the night, they did like fireworks, and it was just a really great experience.
Where was it before? Was it somewhere other than Davis
Frosty's
Park?
Big Night, Frosty's Big Night Out.
Yeah.
It was like down on Main Street. It
So
was
is
like
it-
literally KMS all the way down Main Street, and then you could walk down to the end of like I think where the lights are, down where that whole area is, where that new the mill is. Yeah, and you could do. They had fireworks going off, and
There were fireworks too. So
I
we
know.
did Frosty's Big Night Out last year at Davis Park, and it was pretty big, and we did do like the
where's
hot
that Davis
chocolate.
Park? And
Yeah.
no, the local businesses that are downtown,
So
you can't. They're all left out in the cold.
we were in the process of talking about this in the KBA, like doing something that brings Frosty's Big Night Out down Main Street.
Right. Yep.
So-
It used to be. Yep. Yep. They had a fire. They had
I
a huge
didn't know
fire.
that it used to be.
You know where the railroad tracks are? Where the railroad tracks
Newer
are?
people were talking
They
about
had a
doing this.
huge fire. They had a big, huge thing. They had a big fire,
They had
and it was
horse
just
what-
they
horse
wanted
rides.
the next week they were going to do like an ice
Yeah.
rink that never happened. But it was
An ice rink?
my husband still complains about Frosty's Night being gone. It's
We
not.
have it, we're
You're
doing
doing
it. It's gonna be one Friday. This
It
week.
wasn't
We
called
still do it.
Frosty's Night, it was the first night.
First night, it was New Year's
Big
Eve.
night.
New
It was
Year.
on New
It
Year's
was New Year's Eve.
And
Right,
like, yeah,
oh,
they
New
had,
Year's Eve.
they had like
The
people
first
in the
First night.
This is something, there was something
First
to
night,
do
I
all.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
Parents.
They had
No,
storytelling
what
over
she's
here,
describing
they
is
had.
That was Frosty's Big Night is a different
It's-
thing.
Sorry.
A lot of those
Okay.
things, a lot of those things.
Thank you for the correction.
What was it?
First
What was
night.
that one called?
First night.
Then each
first
person
night.
just speak up.
First night.
What did you want to say?
What you're saying is Frosty's Big Night Out, because that's what we still do, we're doing it again on Friday.
Right.
But I didn't know there was a New Year's one too.
They only did it for like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horse-drawn carriages,
Yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot about that, yes,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Each
That
of
was
these events
17 years ago.
needs a group of people.
17
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, because my kids are 3 and 4 and they're 18 and 19.
The marketing
That's
committee
right,
for the
'cause my-
KBA,
my
that's
young-
trying
my
to work on
oldest-
that.
my
But we
youngest,
just
yeah.
came up
Yep.
with it, kind of like the last minute, so we don't have enough time to execute it this year, but we're looking at doing it next year, so I love hearing these ideas like.
Yeah, can you imagine having the Kinley Choir playing, and it gives
We do
them
that.
practice, and
Yeah.
get the Kinley Band coming out, and, you know, it gives them time to experience using their equipment, and instruments, and it's just,
There,
you know.
to my knowledge, I was told this just the other day, there was a group that was doing this in town for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it was the same people doing it over and over. When they got older, until they said, we've had it, we can't keep on doing this, the numbers went down, and that's how it died. And nobody took their place.
Yeah, that's what happens, is people just get
That's my
tired,
understanding
yeah,
of what happened,
right.
I think
and why it's no longer here.
to grow that whole concept to Killingly, the vision of Killingly, I think getting young people involved.
Yes.
You know, the commissions, all the vacancies on the commissions and stuff, I mean,
Give us some ideas, how to get the young
We
people
wish.
involved.
Yeah, I know.
that's a common theme.
By
Yeah.
talking to people, it's the only way it really works.
Is that Rhode Island?
Slightly different question. From a historic point of view, all the history that we have in town, give us some thoughts, what should we be doing to maybe promote it? Show that everybody is here and people will want to come and say, oh my God, we've got it. Any thoughts? Richard, just, any thoughts that you have to express that we could include maybe in our thinking? Because we have had comments from citizens in town
Yeah.
saying, we're not emphasizing the history of this town enough. Nobody knows enough about it, where it is, what's going on, it's not advertised.
Yeah.
So-
Donna has for years, we're supporting it, done these bus tours of a lot of the historical mill areas of Killingly. And we're slowly working on a project of sort of documenting a lot of those tours and stuff so we can grow them a little bit or keep doing them. But that's one thing that help with, you know, when you're asking about. So it's something we do and hope to continue doing.
Yeah, it tends to attract a lot of people. Get on the bus and go around and say, oh, see here, and there, and there, and there's just, tell the stories,
Yeah.
you know, that, you know.
We have a group working on Cat Hollow that is doing all kinds of new stuff there, but also like getting is the signage just for the trees and stuff, or is that gonna be for the mill and?
They've discussed doing both. I don't know what their actual plan is, but I know they've researched the history of Cat Hollow and hoped to
And I
integrate it
There was
somehow.
a mill there.
There were several.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
Donna has all the pictures and the before and the after, and there is the book about Killingly and about all the different mills and stuff like
You want to
that.
introduce yourself as the last of the KCC show?
I'm not remember this. The latecomer.
That's okay, introduce yourself.
But, yeah, so there
Say
is
your
a
name.
lot. My name is Claudette Rogers, and I'm part of the,
Vice chair.
I'm vice chair.
Richard, you wanted to say
Yeah,
something? Speak up.
It had to do with the history, because Jay Lee mentioned the Brick Marketplace being built with, and just for the arts, but there's no reason why the Historical Commission cannot have exhibits done there and tell
That's a
history.
good idea.
And I think we know a few people at that commission.
Yeah,
We're looking at putting a stage there too, I'm remembering, like a
What?
portable stage. They're looking at doing that. I'm just remembering stuff.
But we could, between the walls, sculptures, I mean, I know there's a cannon that we have in the museum that, to me, is taking up space, but would be an attraction.
And then, Cannon?
Yeah, see, it's there.
There was some talk that Joe thought of including in that development that is going to come about back of the New York pizza area, that on the walls there, we could put up something, I don't know what, glass enclosed, of historical note and things like that. Just already, that could be changed all the time, maybe. There was talk of doing that, that's a possibility there. It's just, yeah, okay.
I just wanted to dive back to the band, the fact that you haven't heard the band. In Johnson, I don't know how many bands we might have, probably, yes, each school. So we do have a lot of little pictures from respective schools. However, I used to live in Johnston, and we had a band director who ended up moving on, but he wanted a band association. And nobody was willing to volunteer, they all came to the meeting. So I spoke up, they actually heard me, but the interesting thing is that first year, everyone was so motivated that the businesses in the town took out little ads and a flyer that we put together that would raise $15,000. And those flyers were also handed out not only at a parade, but also at a concert in school gymnasium. And future years, it kept going, we raised more money for trips to Disney World and other competitions. But it just has to start.
Yeah.
And
Our band goes to Disney every year. They go down there and
We'll be very
perform.
proud.
Has anybody heard anything about the amphitheater that's in back of Gary's Gymnastics?
I heard it was sold. Ed said that was sold, they sold that.
They sold it?
Yeah.
But the town of Killenly owns like a little amphitheater that we haven't
Right.
utilized.
Yeah, like
Right
just
on the
color.
water, yeah.
Yeah.
Was not
I haven't
yours.
seen that.
So there's the footbridge and then the amphitheater, so they
Oh,
did
yeah,
like
the
the
footbridge,
footbridge.
yeah.
I think it was made out of marble or
Interesting.
something too. It was like, it's beautiful. I forgot
Yeah.
what he's made. Ed said it was sold.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I just know, you know, like maybe we could get our band to play down there if Gary's would let us.
But that was another thing that we had. It was like you had that whole brochure and it had, you know, there was gonna be something going on over there, so you'd go over there at a certain time and, you know, at the bank, they had storytelling and it was like you had it all written down and you just went there and you know, it was a really great, fun, free experience.
Yeah.
You know, families.
I think that would be something to look forward to next year for 2020.
All right.
Yeah.
My understanding is there is a historic commission, right? that-
Yeah.
Okay, we need to speak to them too.
Right, right.
To get input more from them on that side.
Yep.
So that's very good.
Yep.
First of all, folks, do you have any further thoughts or comments or questions you would like to put to? Yeah.
So one of the new business owners in town of Park Society, she's been bringing us all together to kind of, I guess, partially brand our area as like a dog-friendly area, which I kind of think goes hand in hand with like the rural and the nature and the camping aspect of everything. So we just had an event, Bark Harvest, and it was really successful. It was like over 500 people.
What?
So we have to, yes, we are planning to do another one in the spring. We're not even gonna wait till next fall. And that was right by where Gloria's Kitchen was moved to by 4Gs. So that's where the event was. So now we're looking to possibly do it at, I think KIS is our next location we're looking at. But I guess what I'm asking is, like, the funds that we're generating, do you want to put towards a dog park? Do you have an idea of like where would be a good area to, or maybe more than one, like small ones? I don't know.
Well, there's a dog park down at, up
12.
Yeah, I hope
12,
we
yeah.
go to that one a lot, but like maybe towards the downtown area or
Right.
something like
Because you
that.
talk
Something a
about
little more
tying,
accessible.
tying in the
Yeah.
businesses, you want them to leave the, you know, dog park and, you know,
There's
stay
not
in
even
the
over
area.
at Old somewhere.
Maybe, I don't know. So that's why,
Is it have to be town property or are you looking to have a private
You can do
property
it
to
in
be
the back
purchased or?
trails
we could do
area.
that too. We're exploring our options and trying to get information to see like what we can do.
And right down Water Street where they had the building where they had the glass company, that feed store, right where they had the place to go with the board, to get your boat into the,
Right, there was the boat launch.
that
area.
whole area right there, and it's right down, right by the, it's right, and there's plenty of parking and, you know. So, but I think private
She's
mail.
talking about.
I think it's the place that Jill was telling us about that has actually a building, we were looking at for something else, but, and it's dog related. So I think that is the same area,
Yeah.
but I might be wrong. What was it?
It's right by the water,
Like
follow the river
Connecticut
now.
Ave?
Commerce Avenue, Commerce Avenue.
Commerce
right
Ave.
Commerce
Right
Ave?
by
Oh,
the
that was
railroad
one.
tracks, and then there's the road, and then there's the river on the left.
Yeah.
And there's Deary's, yeah, where the
Yeah, there
old
was feed store was, right,
yeah.
yeah.
Where was it?
Glass company,
Go
feed
past
store.
Where Deary's brother, where Deary's Gymnastics is,
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
going.
Keep
Yes.
going down that road.
on that road, yeah, and then there's.
Sort of towards the end of that.
Yep.
road.
Go by the glass place, and the old feed store used to be
Yeah,
there.
but she's young,
Yeah.
she doesn't know.
Then you have plenty of parking,
Not my
plenty of places to put the
Is
fence
that a
down.
warehouse back there too?
It's localized, which would be nice, you
Is
know.
that where we were talking at our last meeting about possibly a boat launch?
Yes.
Yeah.
The water
Yes,
access would be
but
good
then also
there.
was saying that was privately owned, so it's kind of complicated, yeah.
And it was privately owned?
Any other thoughts from, any other comments from you folks?
What do we think about our current amount of preserved open space land? Do you think we need more acquisitions? We're currently at like 11% preserved open space. Do you have a goal in mind for what Kinley needs?
What's the state mandate?
The state's goal is 20%, 21,
yeah.
and that's what we have in our POCD.
Speak up for the mic, please.
Sorry. The state goal is 21% for preserved open space land, and that's what we have in our POCD. But what do you guys think we need for open space? Do we have a good amount? More acquisitions? Like, what's your
Well, I think
goal for that?
that was kind of one of the things that I was wondering about was, you know, we're hoping to give you information, but as a conservation commission, as you learn sort of the vision that people have for this town, we would love, at least I think we would love to get information from you about what people would like. You know, do people want to keep it really rural?
This will be a public document or whatever
Right,
we've
yeah.
come up with.
So
Absolutely.
feedback to us, so that can help
Yeah,
guide
yeah.
what we do as a commission. We do have state mandates, we do have responsibilities, you know, that we have to take care of. But we're also here to serve the townspeople as well, so.
The idea is, once we complete this and finish it, already we are talking to make sure that there is a group in the town council or administration that will not say, put it on the shelf, thank God it's gone. We'll move it forward and do a quarterly annual review. Which of these things have we done? Which
Yeah.
are we not doing? Why aren't we doing these?
Right.
So that might be part of, I think, what you're saying. There needs to be further action, and I've spoken both to the town manager, there's a new council now, make sure that they're aware. Folks, we are doing this, all of us, 2 years of our life, putting it together. You better make sure this damn thing moves. That's the only way I can do it. And that's okay, I can joke with them, and they agree.
Sure.
I'm getting agreement, certainly the town manager said absolutely.
Right.
And there's already talk of how to do that, whether it should be a person or a group, or who, or where, or a new group.
Right,
I
Right.
don't know that yet.
right,
We're 8 months to 12 months away from that,
right.
but the thoughts are there. We are very well aware. I'm not gonna waste my time for nothing.
Right.
And
None of
not
us
all
want to
us.
do that, right?
Yeah.
And I think the key thing is a balance, that we have a balance of development in downtown
Yes.
area, industrial and open space and trails and ponds
Yes.
and all the rest of it. I mean, I think what we have here in our town is a balance
Yes.
of all of those.
But maintaining that balance.
Is there a
Maintain.
plan in place, or what's thought about for the open space with respect to adding new trails? I mean, I know that's also an expense, but
Some
We
of
were-
those-
do get
Yeah,
people
yeah.
outdoors.
One of our larger properties is Chase Reservoir, which is a kayak reservoir. But we're working on, right now, sort of, there's some timber harvest going on there right now, so we're a little bit held up. we're working on improving the trails up there, figure out the best way to use that property, both from a conservation standpoint, but also from an accessibility standpoint. So that's one of the things we're looking at.
I would say there are a lot of good trails right
Can you just, because I had the term open space, can you define that for me? Does open space mean public access or just means undeveloped land?
Open space means undeveloped land, but protected open space means like there's a legal protection, either in conservation easement or like a deed restriction. So when I said 11%-ish open space, I meant protected open space.
Well, but does that, I guess my thought process is, once it's open space, it's off the grand list, it's not a tax producing revenue. So
Right.
20% is the goal. Does the community get benefit of that open space, or can it just be open space privately held?
It can be open space privately held, so like the Wyndham Land Trust parcels that are protected, we count that towards the open space, but they don't have to open it to the public
So I'd be
necessarily.
surprised we don't have more than 20%. It's just open space undeveloped, right? Most of the
Well,
towns is that.
A lot of them
Protected,
exist.
yeah, like we've got a
You're
lot
saying
of,
protected.
Yes.
Cannot be, yes, all right.
Yeah.
Legally protected.
and PA 490 land does not count towards the open space protected percentage because it's short-term protection. So we've got
PA 490 means.
PA 490 is the,
Yeah.
like the tax benefit program, like if you have forested 25 acres, you can enter into the PA 490 program and you get tax benefits for keeping it forested in the short term.
But again, not public access. In other words,
Right.
we're
Right.
losing tax money for the property we cannot
Yes,
use
yeah,
for any purpose. right?
yeah.
And so the state necessarily, when there's 655 acres, doesn't have to make that accessible to
Right.
public use. They
Yes.
could just conserve it.
Yes, they have, but they don't have to.
I'm not sure if that new acquisition shows up on this map. I think I got it.
No, it's the big orange one right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on there.
How many acres is Chase Reservoir?
400 plus with all the parcels combined, something like
How
that.
about the water itself?
I think the water is 80 something acres and that's part of
If
it.
if you have a kayak boat,
Yeah,
you could put a few markers out there.
Yep.
You could have a kayak race.
yeah, yeah,
Sponsored by a downtown
yeah,
business.
absolutely,
It's an idea to think about.
definitely, definitely. I would have to think about for sure.
Yeah, and that's where we think of the balance, you know, it's like we have to make sure that if we're using our properties for things like that, is that consistent with the conservation goals that we have? Are we gonna upset the wildlife by having 300 people chase? We don't know, so those are the things we're trying to do.
You certainly would get people from out of town who
Right.
like to kayak,
Right,
would come to town.
right. But you gotta make sure that there's parking for all those cars. Because for me, and I drive by everybody nuts on the thing, but it's like, for me, it's like, when somebody comes here and they wanna have a great time in Killingly, I don't want them to have a bad experience, because the first thing they're gonna do is go on their phone and say how horrible of experience their time in Killingly was. So it's like, every little thing you have to think about, parking, you know, getting in and out of someplace, all these little things you have to think about. You know, if somebody has a bad experience, it can go downhill so fast. You know, so it's great to have a kayaking race, but we have to make sure there's room for all those vehicles and getting in and out, you know. And Pratt Road is a dirt road. And,
Bathrooms.
yeah.
Bathrooms, yeah.
You know, Pratt Road is a dirt road. They're not gonna want, you know, 50
Yeah.
cars running down that road. Residents are gonna be really mad. So all these little things you have to think about, you know.
There's
So
also Old Killingly Pond that we haven't really mentioned, you know, that's a wonderful spot up in eastern Killingly.
Do they get drained?
right.
It's like
It's
dry.
going
Possibly,
down.
yeah. We're still figuring
It's
out.
all killing mush.
Yeah, that was another thing. It was a great
Old
opportunity
Killingly
for
mud.
recreational.
Yeah, it's
That's
bad.
what it is.
Yeah, Cat Hollow is a tremendous resource too. Help maintain the trails over there and keep an eye on that place, you know, in conjunction with Parks and Rec and Bucky. That's a great place too. Probably.
And the
they've-
garden club
We've got a
too.
whole big area down, a lower area down there
Yeah.
where they could have activities down there. That I think would lend itself really well.
And the garden club is very involved down there too, maintaining the roadway and the plantings and all that stuff.
The ballparks are considered open space, right? Davis Park and Owen Bell, is that considered part of our open space? protected?
I believe
Some
that
of
is
it's active and some of it's
yeah.
passive, I mean, I don't know how it's.
Yeah, I think active recreation can count towards open space, so I
It
believe,
can.
yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Well, nobody took up all your meeting.
You can tell we love this stuff, and we're like, oh.
Okay, no further, Dan, anything else? No? We thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
us.
Appreciate it very
Guys are
much.
doing.
We
Yeah, yeah.
Excited to
are
see
well
what
aware
happens.
of
Follow
everyone
you.
that's being recorded.
Well, you didn't tell us that at the beginning.
That's it, we're done.
Thank you so much.
And we have a very nice, actually,
Yeah, no questions though before they leave?
Few reports,
Yeah, you
all
good?
the stuff, all the
Okay.
comments, and we can list of what the speakers have said. Well, that's the only way we can keep up
Awesome.
with it. If we
All right,
don't
I
know,
think,
you know.
yeah, well, I
Oh,
think we're
and
gonna, once
thank
they
you
leave,
for
we're just
taking
gonna
the
wrap up
survey,
with,
and if any of you
Thank
haven't
you
taken
so
it yet,
much for
please
that.
take it, and where's the barcode
See you
for it?
again.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
let,
Have a good
yeah,
night.
once they,
Right here, somewhere.
thank you all, yeah.
Thank you.
You can tell we like.
Paul has some things he'd like to talk about.
We got a whole lot of this.
Thank you very much.
Like, thank you.